You can clap it at your point.
Good job, Carl.
Point. Everybody say pockets going. Eggs, bacon, lettuce, podcast.
I'm sitting on the
Podcast.
Podcast.
Ben stuffed that up real bad. Podcast.
I'm going to lead you through this podcast.
Podcast.
That wasn't very nice.
Oh, welcome to Almost Therapeutic, the podcast about things you're probably not talking to your parents about. And if you are, we're really proud of you. And your parents, you can turn off now because you don't need us.
Yeah.
But if you do, the regular panel are with me, and we have
Aiden.
Ben.
I don't know why I said that.
Nah, you had a moment.
I did, didn't
Ben.
I?
That was a little bit like depressed or like.
Yeah, mine was
what?
happy. I did it right. Whoa.
Restart.
You're even,
Fabulous.
you're even wearing one of my scarves. Come on, you should
I
be.
think
a
it's
little...
just made me less manly.
Oh, get wrecked.
Oh, just as well. You don't even know what the topic for this is, do you?
No,
Doesn't it?
Well, you're going to eat more than Maltesers, mate. You're going to eat your words.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Ryan. Well, okay. We're not.
Hey, man, I feel you. This is Ben, okay? Ben.
We're not meaning to leave Ryan out in the cold. He is our special guest again, our graphic designer and dancer extraordinaire. It is Ryan Herbert.
Ryan.
With the mane.
Welcome.
Look at that hair.
That
Look at
hair
that
is
hair, man.
incredibly impressive.
It's got form.
Thanks.
Give us a bit of a Pantene
Pantene
commercial.
moment.
The ladies will love it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, ladies love it.
I
Ladies love it.
felt that. I
Yeah.
felt that.
What, the hair or?
Everything. I just feel the cosmos.
Yeah. I just feel like...
The world shifted and people paid more attention at the moment, right?
Secret isn't conditioner. Conditioner's the secret.
If for any strange reason you want to actually make contact with these people,
Then you can always hit us up on our social media pages. So we got get a wiggle on. We got big red car. Wake up, Jeff. No, we got So we got our Facebook one, www.facebook.com/almosttherapeutic. Our Twitter @almosttweeting. Don't forget, if you're talking on social media, to hashtag almosttherapeutic, and also check out our YouTube channel. Also called Almost Therapeutic. I can't speak tonight. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we
you're
noticed.
struggling big time. Have a
Just go
Malteser.
home whenever you
Have some sugar, dude.
For those of you not in Australia, Maltesers are the gift of the gods. How would you describe a Malteser?
Delicious.
Perfection.
Awesomeness.
Everything you want in a chocolate ball.
Awesomeness dribbled with more awesomeness.
Like, I'm pretty sure you could pay rent with this.
Well, you probably could if you're paying Ben.
Yeah.
That would work fine.
I would take Maltesers as payment for my work.
Yep. Oh, good. That's actually recorded. Tonight we're talking about the topic.
Out of that one.
We're talking about the topic boys only. And what I mean by that is we're going to talk about issues that are particularly relevant to 12, 17-year-old boys, young adults. Things that particularly stress out, bother, and damage that age group. People don't talk about the issues too often. So that's the point tonight. But before we get into that stuff, we're going to play Almost 60 Seconds. Da-da-da-da.
Bum, bum, bum.
Now, before we play, because I'm springing this on you, none of you know what we're doing, correct?
No.
Including the cameraman who might need to move some cameras. Because
No, sure.
in just a moment, I'm going to pair the four of you up.
We're in a pair.
And what I'm going to do is have Ryan teach Connor, and I'm going to have Aiden teach Ben. You have 60 seconds to prepare a dance move.
Oh, this is easy.
And
That's not fair.
Wait, I am going to judge the success on what Connor and Ben produce, having been taught by you for 60 seconds each.
So hang on.
So
Ryan...
he has to turn you into a better dancer than Connor, and Ryan, you have to turn Connor into a better dancer than Ben. It's not about you two dancing, it's about your students dancing.
Hang on.
We
So
got- no.
Aiden's teaching Ben.
Yes.
And
Oh.
he's...
Yeah, we got this.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's just... I feel like we don't even need to try.
We need a team name.
What do you
You don't
Doing
need
better
to
than Aiden and Ben.
I need to try
That's
because I
our
need to
team name.
improve you.
All right,
Yeah, but I don't feel like we're going to...
front and center.
Alright.
I'm of the opinion that you guys are starting early, so your almost 60 seconds starts now. That's an edit. Come on, Ben and Connor, show us what you know. Oh, you've got the shuffle going. All right, Connor, you're out.
Oh, go, Connor.
Oh, yes, oh, yes. All right.
I tried my best.
That was not taught. That was not that smart.
All right, to the side, no, to the side of the issue, it's a dance-off between Ryan and Aiden.
Oh,
And your time starts now.
Give up. Just give up.
Go.
Just give up. Is it like
Time starts now. Oh my goodness.
I believe in you, man. I believe in my teacher. I believe in my teacher. Oh, what is going on? What is going on? Why did you have to go so hard?
Oh,
I was mucking around and you were so serious. I was having a good time and he was so serious about it. He didn't muck about.
Greg, what was Matt Amy saying?
About me?
Start the
there. Well, tonight we want to talk about some issues that particularly affect boys and the gap that is significant between boys as a rule and girls in particularly academic settings, but in a whole range of different areas of life that people often are not aware of. It used to be boys certainly had the majority of places at university, they topped classes, they went on and got higher paid jobs. Do you know in the last 20 years that's completely not only stopped, but it has reversed. And there's now a whole range of areas in which, on average, young boys are lagging well behind girls and are struggling profoundly. What areas would you guys just pick off the top of your head that you would brainstorm a list? Areas guys struggle.
Nah, English. I reckon English.
Okay, academically, English in particular.
Yeah.
Math, I reckon.
You think math?
I struggled in math.
All right.
I
Well,
struggle with English.
I struggled in English too. But
John's just. I'm just disappointed.
Connor and Ben, this is not about you specifically.
well, I felt like I was winning something, but you just took that away from me.
Yeah, I thought we're like.
I didn't actually declare a winner.
No, who won the dance?
Ryan.
I know, we.
Yeah.
Us.
Okay.
Of the students and the teachers, Ryan wins.
Right.
What other areas do you think, as a rule, generationally, boys are lagging behind and struggling in?
Did we? What? Just answer that.
You gave a sucky answer.
I think attention problems.
Yep.
More prevalent would be more prevalent in guys.
Yep.
A lot of guys struggle with paying attention more than I would say females do.
There's a lot of distractions being a male.
And I think generally, like, with the males, they're the more gamers, so they're more video games orientated.
Definitely.
So
Okay.
paying attention on their studies is probably taken off to the side when it comes to video games.
Okay. Well, let me give you some ideas. Give you a list. Some things that I found.
I like a list.
Boys have poor academic outcomes, and you were exactly right. English and literacy and reading and writing are significantly behind girls.
You don't
as a
feel
rule.
bad now.
That's why girls always have better handwriting.
They do.
Girls have better
Yes.
They
writing.
usually have diaries.
Girls have parts of the brain significantly devoted to verbal, literacy, word-based skills that boys simply don't have wired up the same.
You think when you're a kid, right? We got trucks and stuff going bang, boom, bam,
Yeah,
and
they
then
got
girls
the
have got
dolls.
dolls talking.
Talking, yeah.
Like they're having tea parties, and we're like, psh,
Having full-blown conversations
Like
with
that's us.
grunting.
Boys can make better sound effects.
Yes.
Yes.
I've had girls come up to me and be jealous of my sound effects.
see?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And your hair.
And my hair. That's the thing as
That's
well.
and you're dancing.
And no, they're not.
Girls are
jealous,
just
no.
jealous of Ryan. Ryan would make a better girl than most girls.
Boys, boys are twice as likely to have ADHD or an intellectual disability.
Yeah.
Twice as likely
Well,
as girls.
how many boys here have a problem?
3.
3 out of
3 out of
5.
5.
Yes.
We have a 3 out of 5.
I don't have ADHD.
No, it's decent.
No, you used to have problems.
Boys are 3 times more likely to have dyslexia or specific learning difficulties in general.
Yeah, okay.
They're 4 times more likely to have autism.
Oh man, that's a
They
big.
are-
That's pretty high, man.
Yeah.
They are 5 times more likely to kill themselves.
Whoa.
So you're basically just saying it sucks to be a male.
Well, I'm not, but I'm saying there are really profound issues for adolescent and young adult men around the planet that these statistics are pretty consistent for. Much more likely to be incarcerated, to commit crimes, account for 80% of the prison population, 5 times more likely to kill themselves. What the hell is going on?
Is that because we're doers? Like we just like
What do you mean?
I reckon.
I don't know. Well, for me, it doesn't even pop in my head. I just go do stuff. As like girls, got to be like, I got to talk to my friends about it. I got to talk to my mum.
See, I reckon that's the issue though, because girls they just talk.
They talk about feelings.
talk like feelings and stuff. Where dudes are just like, oh hey bro, how's it going? But behind closed doors, we might be miserable.
Exactly.
Yeah,
think,
we don't do the whole
yep.
feelings.
Yep.
I think there's a very old mentality. Like I know a lot of women complain about a very old mentality in terms of women having to stay at home and like there's a mentality about that. I think there's also an old mentality about men
Yep.
and what it means to be a man and masculinity in general.
So one of the things that I'd throw out at you is go back a couple of generations, and then from that time back, what did blokes do? What did men do when they turned 12, 13, 14 years of age?
They got
What was
jobs.
our job? What kind of jobs?
Labourers.
Labour.
You know, like
Lots of labour.
chopping wood, building train tracks, I guess.
We built things, we killed things,
Yeah, hunting. Yeah, hunting
Yep.
would have been a thing.
we provided things.
Yeah.
So I think for a lot of blokes, you know, if you go back for 20, 30, 40,000 years, there is a long genetic history, programmed history, where we had a certain role, and that role's been taken away really, really quickly. And I think for a lot of young men, they're struggling with where they fit, how they contribute, what do they really do in this new world?
Yeah, that kind of does make sense.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, well, I got a job straight at 14. And I definitely went, just before I got a job, I wasn't sure where I wanted to do and where I wanted to be. And,
Yep.
I know a few. And things like that. And then when I'm working, I actually feel better when I'm working than when I'm not.
For sure.
Like you guys know me, I'm pretty much a workaholic up until recently.
Yep.
Like I just worked. What are you doing, Ben? I'm working.
Yep.
Like that's just, I felt like I was more needed, more wanted as I was working
Yep.
than not.
And the fact that you were able
Yeah.
to leave school early and go and do something like a trade,
Yeah, I did
productive,
trade, yeah.
hands-on, active.
Yep.
In Australia, at least, one of my great frustrations is they've almost taken that option away,
Yeah.
where you have to stay at school now
You
until
do
you
11,
are
12, 17.
17, 18 years of age, whether you're an academic or not.
Yeah.
And that's making it worse because there are a whole generation of boys locked in at school
Yeah,
who don't want to
wasting
be
time.
there, who are not academics, who are wired up to be physical and active and do things with their hands, and they're stuck in classrooms 30 hours a week listening to this,
Yeah.
giving the information back like this,
Yeah.
and it's got nothing to do with how they're wired.
It's funny that because I left school at year 10,
Yep.
so I went straight into a trade and stuff. And now I've finished my apprenticeship and I work quite well. And now I'm actually thinking about doing the studies, like going to university and stuff. Like we've talked about
Exactly.
quite.
Yep.
Like now I'm actually wanting to go do that.
Yep.
Because I feel like I've got a lot of that. I've done a lot of hard work. I'm pretty happy where I am at this moment in my life. And now I feel like I can go and learn a bit more, and I can go sit in those rooms. Like I've got more patience
You're
now.
ready to, yep.
I'm more calm.
And from a brain development point of view, that makes so much sense
Yeah.
because our brains develop, particularly the verbal side of the brain, develops on a slower timescale. So we're probably more ready to do the academic work or go to uni in our 20s, whereas girls are ready to do that and do really well when they're 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 years of age.
Yep.
And at that point, the boys are lagging behind. And interestingly, 60% of degrees now in the United States, 60% of undergraduate degrees are completed by women.
Wow.
They are better educated, complete more degrees. If you are 30 and single, you actually earn more than men equivalently. This idea that women, you know, as a rule, always earn less than men is changing radically.
Yep.
If you're 30 and single in the UK, in the United States, and almost now in Australia, you earn more than your male counterpart.
Wow.
And you're
I
better
didn't know that.
educated.
Yeah.
And your results are better.
Oh, that's
Don't you
incredible.
even find the jobs that blokes do now has radically changed? Like, I've done a psych degree, you're doing a psych degree. I mean, when I did my degree, that might have been 30% blokes to 70% women. Now you'd be lucky if it's 10%, 90%. You look at your average school, my kids haven't had a male teacher. Not one of my kids has had a male teacher.
Yeah,
through
I only
primary
had a
school.
couple of male teachers when I was back in school.
Yeah, one or two.
That's incredible.
I think I had one in primary school for
Yeah,
1
well.
year, and then just
Well, that's actually funny because I remember I had a male teacher in a few weeks because I had massive issues with him.
Yep.
And went back to female because I had a problem with that whole male.
You were so not
I
used
think
to it.
I think
Yeah.
you just liked looking at the female.
But no, I have a problem with authority as well. So the whole male talking over me as I guess a female teacher, I had a bit more like a
Well,
motherly
and I
kind of
think
thought of it.
That
Yeah,
can be
maybe.
that can be a place from where this struggle comes from is because in my experience, there's some things that there's that whole thing that guys don't understand girls and girls don't understand guys,
Yeah.
and I think there's a big thing in my schooling career at least where female teachers just did not understand what it was like to be a guy.
Yeah.
And we would have when we played football in high school, and we'd not allowed to tackle at school.
Yeah.
But of course, as a guy, you're getting revved up, you're playing a game, you've got testosterone flowing, you want to tackle someone.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just
Yeah.
you have to tackle players, you want to do it, and you want to get tackled, and you want to hit someone hard, and you want to get put down. You want to get that physical side happening. And the female teachers would come up and just be like, that's tackle. Why are you tackling? Well, because we want to. Why would you want to do that? They just didn't understand it.
I think, another issue I see with even younger guys all of the time is with female teachers, if something goes wrong, what's their instinct? What do they do about it? They want to talk.
Yeah.
And they want you to
Talk.
What
about how
were you
feel.
thinking?
Yeah, all your
Explain
feelings and
yourself.
stuff, yeah.
And it turns into this dialogue, and most boys simply can't talk when
I
they're
just
frustrated.
wanted to flip a desk.
Exactly.
So I
If
flipped
you're
a desk.
frustrated, if you're angry, if you're uptight, the last thing you want to do is have a talk.
Another
wanna
thing
break
like
something.
that, it could be like males have spats all the time that can be physical, and that can be actually, I think, really helpful for a close friendship. It's like, oh, you just wrestle a little bit, and then that's the end of it.
Like you and I as
and a woman,
kids.
a female teacher would come up and be like, oh, why did you punch your friend? Like,
Well, you're on detention, or you're going up to the
yeah,
office.
oh, he was being or whatever.
Yeah.
He was being something not nice, so I punched him. And then you don't do that because females don't.
Yeah.
They
They talk about each
talk
other.
about
Oh,
it
yeah,
way more.
you can see like us boys
more
kind of
vocal.
thing, like we'll like have a punch on or like have a fight and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
like a full-on fist fight.
Yeah,
I remember
and
having-
5
and
minutes later, we're best
and then
friends
like
again.
Yeah.
10
I remember
minutes
having
later
a-
or something, you can see him like handshake it out or like have
Yeah,
a hug, and
we,
then they're
we all
best
went
of
to
friends.
the same high school, and our deputy principal was really good. I remember once when there was a very small spat on the playground, and a female teacher wasn't dealing with it well. The male deputy came up, and which is really rare, like to have a male
Yeah, sure.
position in the school. That's such a high thing nowadays. Is he came in, and he heard the story, and he's like, one friend punched another friend, and then they yelled at each other. And he goes, yeah, well, don't punch your friend because he might do it back, and you don't want to get hit. He's like, yeah, that seems fair enough. And then it was
That's
sorted.
it.
That was it. They went to class.
I remember that he was a good bloke, and
He
actually
was a good
because I had a lot of anger issues or anger management issues, and he just got me. He, like 100%. We didn't have to talk, but he said you shouldn't do that. And I was like, why? And he's like, well, you'll get hurt back probably. Look at him, he's bigger than you. Yeah, that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll go sit in the timeout room. I'll go sit out in the timeout room for a
The
little
sheer
bit.
Yeah,
logic.
whereas the female teacher will come
They just
up
want to suspend
and,
you,
and,
like-
be like, no, because what if you hurt his feelings? And at the time when you're angry, you're like,
Yeah,
I don't give a crap if I've hurt his feelings. I want to shove him.
We're going to come back and talk about feelings in a moment. We are talking about the boys only edition on Almost Therapeutic. Welcome back to the boys only edition of Almost Therapeutic. Now, guys, one of the things that has stuck with me from one of my very first jobs, when I used to work in the corrections department here in Sydney, and one of my jobs was to work with violent offenders, young violent offenders who had just been released from prison, and part of their parole conditions was to go to a violent offender program. I would sit in a room with 10 or 12 young guys, some of whom had committed some pretty serious and significant crimes.
Yep.
And one of the questions I'd ask them is, how many blokes, do you have a bloke in your life that you can talk to now, download to, that you can trust, that you can have a chat with? And almost every group, there would be no one.
Yeah.
I don't mean one, I mean no one who could put up their hand and say, not only is there no one I could do that to or with now, I've never had it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so this ability for blokes to build strong, open, vulnerable, trusting relationships and have that support seems to be a very rare thing.
Yeah, I feel like we're pretty lucky in our little niche group.
Well,
Yeah.
before this group, I probably had one person in my life. He passed away, but when I was in high school stuff, he was probably the only one I got to speak to about stuff, and I only saw him very, very rarely. So, and before I had him in my life, I was up to some pretty bad. Like you two know some of the stuff I was doing when I was a lot younger. I was into some pretty bad stuff, and then I met these guys, and also that person came into my life, and he actually probably did save me from either jail or doing something crazy where I could have got killed, I guess.
Yep.
So I've been blessed in a few ways, I think, both with him, and then I've come with this group where we're all pretty open with each other. So
Yeah, for sure.
I
On
think-
average, looking at your peers though, what would you say the quality of their relationships and interaction with their dads are?
Well, it's pretty
Oh,
low.
well,
But I think the biggest issue there is like coming back to that idea about masculinity is there's this mentality where men cannot show sensitivity or emotion.
Yep.
If a male's upset, he's not allowed to talk about it.
Yep.
If a boy at school has serious problems and they're depressed and they're like it's really getting to them, they hold it in as much as they can.
Yeah.
Because if they go up to a group of their male friends and say, "I've just been feeling really sad lately," they'll get picked on or teased or like, "Oh, what a girl!" You know, it's that sort of mentality. And I think even male parents have that mentality as well.
Yep.
You can see a male parent and a kid can walk up and be like, "Dad, I just feel sad and stressed," and he's like, "Oh, just suck it up, princess."
Yeah.
100%.
Eat some concrete, harden up. You know, it's this really strict mentality where, you know, these children are going through puberty and they've got hormone levels all over the place and they're changing radically and they're trying to emotionally and stably find themselves. And I feel like in that respect, females in general get a lot more support and are more open about it in a way that that males really can't be, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons they struggle with it, is because they're bottling all this stuff
There's
up.
a full-on saying about it. It's like
100%.
sometimes women just need a good cry.
Yeah.
That could be totally true
True for a
males as
male,
well.
yeah.
For sure. And I think one of the things you just touched on that is so profound is the gap between this current generation of boys and their dads is unusually big, because the dads still, by and large, come from that other mindset of being tough, boys don't cry, you know, we're the breadwinners, we're the providers. That's still their worldview.
Well, that's
this
like
generation,
that's mentalities.
that's your dad's mentalities, but we don't have that mentality at all. The current, you know, millennial generation, that's not the way they've been brought up. It's not how they think, and so there is this disconnect between one generation and the next, between men, young men and middle-aged or older men. Okay.
100%.
The other thing that I notice is self-concept, even body image. These are massive issues for young men in this day and age that probably weren't before. You know, we joke about it a bit. We talk about people being metro or snags, new age guys, that kind of thing.
Snags.
SNAG stands for sensitive new age guy.
Really? Far out.
You haven't heard that?
How'd you not know that?
Oh, nice save. Ryan.
That kind of like just explained your life, didn't it?
Sensitive new age guy.
Yeah, but see, that's the exact thing we're talking
That's
about.
what we're talking about,
mentality
that-
of,
Right.
Or you're sensitive, I'm going to have a laugh about that. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how we've been programmed to think, and it's not healthy.
It is. And even body image. I mean, the whole idea of the amount of time guys stress and worry now about their fashion, their clothes, their hair,
that's me.
going to the gym. There are more obsessed males, young males at the gym I go to than there are females, by far.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they can't move past a mirror. If there is any reflective surface in the entire gym, they just have to stop.
Aiden does that too now, Ryan.
Yeah, I know. Aiden's pretty bad.
Aiden's pretty bad.
This
Not at the
guy,
gym.
you're so bad.
No, not at the gym, but like now
I don't look at a single mirror at the gym. I'm there to
in life.
get stuff done.
But in life now you do. You,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I
I've
look
caught
at
Aiden shaking like chocolate milk or something to get off the bottom. He's like shaking and then he looks in the window and he's like,
look those biceps, man.
That's what Ben. No, we'll be like walking down the street
Got
or
the
something,
form.
and we'll be walking off like in a group and stuff, and then like, where's Ben? And then we walk back, and
He's
Ben's not
looking
window
in the shop
shopping.
window somewhere.
Ben's not window shopping. He's looking in the window at himself. He's like, oh yeah.
I'm on point.
And then usually you
Absolutely.
think you'd go back for him, but no, we just keep walking.
But there's a whole industry now that targets men in the way it used to only target women, and targets young men in particular, in terms of brands and fashion and looks and body image and all that kind of thing. And I think that's added a massive pressure to a lot of young people, and again, that's really not well understood. All right, well, some takeaway tips tonight. One of the things I think that we just shouldn't apologise for is the reality that boys are different. I don't mean the obvious ways, I mean our brains are wired up differently.
Boys will be boys.
Bodies are different, brain processes are different, emotional reactions are different, the way we learn is different. Boys are less verbal, always, as a rule, than girls are. The amount of your brain devoted to literacy, word-based, verbal-based information is different, and it is slower to progress. So that's one of the reasons why during puberty, certainly from around about 13, 14, right through to 15 or 16, people joke about it, but a lot of boys are reduced to almost 1 or 2 word responses. Yep, nah, good, nothing. That's part of the fact that their brain is just completely rewiring, and the verbal processes are just not there.
Yeah, you
for a
get more
period of time.
communication out of a punch on the arm than you do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but even in this video, like John's asked this questions. Yeah, we agree with that. All of us like, that's it.
and he's like looking for more information. We're just
And
like,
it's like,
Yeah, no, that's all we've got.
I
Yeah,
agree.
there's a few
That's
times
all
where
you
you just
need.
look at us
Yeah.
and we're just
Well,
like, yeah.
I said yes.
I
Yes
know.
means yes. That's it.
Yeah,
Well,
I
he's
tried
just
to
making
come
great.
for
He's
you.
just making great points,
yeah,
and
we just
we're just like, look, just
We're
keep
just
going.
absorbing it. We're just
like-
absorbing it.
we're
And
sponges.
Boys are also not only less verbal, they're less auditory. Now, what I mean by that is they literally don't listen. They don't listen to talking for a long period of time.
Huh? What was that?
We have just about exhausted most young boys' capacity to listen to any more of the podcast. Now, if you think about that and then you think about school, where you do spend 30 hours a week listening to this, and the way you're assessed is your ability to listen and remember and then write what you know. that is such a foreign process for many young men who are very intelligent that they can't show you how smart they are.
I always did better on tests, but not on tests, on speeches. But always, all the good teachers would halfway through my speech start asking me questions.
Exactly.
Like I couldn't get it out by myself, but then they go, "But do you understand this?" And I go, "Oh yeah, well that's that, and that." She goes, "You don't think that's important for the topic?" I go, "Oh yeah." She goes, "Why didn't you say it?" And I'm like, "Oh, I just didn't say stuff."
Yeah, exactly. You didn't tell me you wanted me to say it. Now that I know you want me to say it, yeah, exactly. Boys, as a rule, are more hands-on. And so part of their learning, part of the way they receive information and then show what they know is literally by being more hands-on, being involved, fixing it, touching it, being able to be part of the process. And there's not a lot of experience like that in high school and in university.
That's why I think like woodwork and metalwork and those subjects are dominated by.
Well, I definitely
males in
excelled.
high school.
Those are the subjects I completely excelled in.
Yep.
Was my woodwork. I
Yep.
top marks. English.
Nowhere. Going nowhere.
Yeah, and yet there are plenty of boys, of course, who excel at English and do well at English and
Of
who are
course,
very verbal.
of course. Like
But-
Aiden.
Yeah, that's right. But as a rule, these are some differences that hold fairly true.
Yeah.
Boys love guns. We love sticks. We love cars. We love trucks.
Bashing things,
I like
throwing
things that make big
things.
noises.
There's texting
But
ones.
I still, as a grown
Oh,
man, if
I
I find
bet.
a big stick and I'm in like an open field, I will pick it up and throw it because I can.
Yeah.
There's a difference between girls and boys right here. Girls, you know those texters? You know the texters? Girls will be using the colour and stuff. And boys,
We make
making texter guns.
Yeah.
We make texter
Or
guns.
like some awesome arm weapon, and he's like, "You want
Yes.
to go?"
yeah.
And loving those things is not going to do them any harm. But the reality is, boys also love music and art and clothes and affection and cuddles. And so it's about wrapping your head around the fact that we are well-rounded human beings. And to just categorise boys in these little boxes is not helpful, and you miss out on so much of who they are and who they can become.
Yeah.
So I guess the take-home message is let boys be themselves. Let them learn in ways that actually fit them, the way their brain is wired. Let them communicate in ways that suit them. And you may be just amazed at how much more you get out of them and how much more they've got to share and say. If you're a mum or if you're a girlfriend, try and enjoy the things that actually make your man different to you. We don't want to change everyone to be the same. The difference is part of what's amazing and fantastic. And boys are struggling in this particular generation, academically and emotionally, in terms of identity and self-concept, in levels that we have just not seen before. So I, for one, think paying attention to boys and the way they're wired up is profoundly important. And I encourage you to have a think about that and do it wherever you can.
Yeah. As always, guys, you can always contact us on our social media pages. Go onto our Facebook page. Please, we can only make these podcasts and get this information out there that we think is really important, and we're sure that hopefully some of you think is important and is helpful with your support. So please like and share and subscribe and do everything you can to help us get this message out there to as many people as possible.
Yep. Well, boys,
We'll be boys.
that was the
That's
boys
it.
only edition.
Yeah, that was good.
You happy with that, Ben?
Yeah, we had some incredible. Yeah, you had some incredible things to have to
Yeah,
say.
I
there,
liked.
didn't you?
Things Dad said.
Yeah, I just.
I liked listening a lot in that one.
Wow.
Did you?
Things
No,
Dad said.
especially at the end there, I just felt that.
Yeah,
just felt that.
I was like wondering before we started, like, how much of this is going to ring true, and then you would like say some stuff, and I'd be like, yeah.
That's
Yeah, holy shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't swear. My
That's
bad.
right. We'll have to edit that out.
Bip.
Yeah, exactly. So that's it for tonight.
Done.
Thanks for joining us.